Hello everybody, I'm in a Storm here, and today we're going to be starting up a new series playing Final Fantasy XIV Online, the massively multiplayer online RPG by Square Enix. And as you can see, the new Stormblood expansion pack was recently released. I have been playing it quite a bit and enjoying it immensely. So what I decided to do was go ahead and create a new character and start the game over from the very beginning and record it for my channel. So that is what we're going to do. Now this game has had quite a bit of a storied history. It originally released back in 2010 and was absolutely terrible. I described it as a tech demo masquerading as a game. It didn't have many of the basic functions that you would expect in an MMO. It didn't have a market system, it didn't have a mail system, the questing was terrible, the story was bad, the combat sucked. It was just awful in all aspects. So they did update it, and it did make things a bit better over time, but eventually they decided that it would just be best to go ahead and destroy the old world, which is what they ended up doing through the story, which is actually kind of cool, and then rebuilding the game from scratch and re-releasing it, which is what they ended up doing in 2013. And it became immediately apparent that the re-released version, the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn, was worlds better than the original release, and not only that, as good as anything else that was on the market for an MMO at the time, at least in my opinion anyway. It's been through now 2 expansions, and it just keeps getting better. The current expansion has streamlined a lot of things, improved some stuff. This game is by no means an innovator in the field of MMOs, but it definitely does what it does very, very well. So we're going to go ahead and play this game, and hopefully have some fun. So let's go ahead and watch the opening cutscene, and then we will get into our character creation.
Hydaelyn. A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the 3 great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the Astral Eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the 6th and most recent Astral Era, the Northern Empire of Garlemald amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean Alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Dalamud, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. 5 years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tirelessly to raise himself from the calamity's ruin. The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity. Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in Eorzea, one whose tale is yet unwritten. May he ever walk in the light of the crystal.
Alright, so here we are in the character creation and selection screen. So, I think without much further ado, let's go ahead and get a new character created. Create a new character. We're not going to load appearance data right now. And there we are. So, we need to pick our species, race, and gender. So, we have several different races. We have the higher, which are basic humans. We have the Elysian, which are kind of largish elf type of characters. We have the Lalafell, which are basically this game's version of halflings. We have the Mikote, which are cat-like humanoids. So, kind of like ears and tail. We have the Rogaden, which is, they are kind of the giants of the game. Big, burly. And then we have the Alra, which are, they have these scales and horns, again, kind of, and like reptilian tails. So, and then each of these, so if I just select one of these, let me do with higher, for example, and select, then each of them have two kind of sub-races within the race itself. So, race and gender, there we are. And they all do. So, there's one thing we're going to select here. And what I was actually thinking of doing is that we're going to play as an Aura. Let's see. The curved horns and beautifully patterned scales that characterize the Aura oft give rise to speculation that members of this higher-like race, native to the far eastern continent of Othard, are in fact the progeny of dragons. This, however, has long been disputed, with scholars citing several distinct differences in the two races as evidence of decidedly dissimilar roots. The first and foremost being the enhanced hearing and spatial recognition granted by an Aura's cranial projections, traits not attributed to draconian horns. And the second being the gross disproportion in body mass between Auri males and females, again a trait widely unseen in dragons. And to demonstrate that, so this is Aura males, this is Aura females. So yeah, they're like less than half the size of the males. So, we are actually going to be playing as an Aura female. And we're going to be playing as the clan of the Rayan. There are the Rayan, which have white scales and horns, and there's the Zayla, which have black scales and horns. So we're going to be playing as Rayan. Let's see. Ari creation myth tells of a dawn father and a dusk mother from whom all Al-Ra are descended. The Rayan believe their veins to run thick with the blood of the former, their brilliant white scales and iron wills serving as proof of this divine lineage. Unlike their sister clan, the Zayla, who bloody the land with endless tribal conflict, the Rayan have embraced a life of tranquility and solitude, long abandoning the nomadic lifestyle of their ancestors to settle deep within the valleys of Authorn's mountainous eastern reaches. Only on rare occasions will one emerge from the valleys, missed to seek adventure in realms afar. So, we'll pick one of those. And we need to go ahead and pick our... well, do our character design here. All of our stuff, which I'm going to go through all of this and basically do that off screen here, and we'll come back with what our final character is going to look like. So that'll be just a second. Okay, so this is going to be our character. Done. We're all set up. And we can take a look, in different environments and different lighting conditions. See how she's gonna look. We can switch to nighttime. Right, so yep, there we are. So we go ahead and we're gonna confirm this. We're not gonna save this appearance data. Okay, we need to pick a date of birth. So go with this. Okay, now we need to pick a patron deity, which there are the 12 deities of the world of Hydaelyn. Alright, so look through there. I'm not sure we're gonna go over all of these. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is choose Azema, because we are Aura. Azema is the keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry, because the Aura are associated with the sun, or Rayan Aura. She commands the element of fire and is associated with the 9th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Azema is a daughter of Althik, the elder sister of Menfina. She is most often depicted as a noble lady holding a golden fan. Her symbol is the radiant sun. So I will choose that. Alright, so we need to pick a starting class. Which we have Gladiator, Pugilist, Marauder, Lancer, and Archer for Disciples of War. And then we have Disciples of Magic, of Conjurer, Thaumaturge, and Arcanist. My main character, I play as a Scholar, which is based off of Arcanist. So I'm probably not going to go with Magic, I'm going to go with War. And I'm thinking... Pugilist... I'm thinking we're going to go with Marauder. With a giant axe. We can actually take a look at the job-specific gear when you hit, when you hit the maximum level of the original game. You get the job-specific gear, but, the level has been extended quite a bit. So this would be the basic job-specific gear. Which actually looks pretty cool. We could go, Gladiator would be this, Pugilist, Lancer, Archer. So we're going to go with Marauder. So the Marauder is a combat specialist whose weapon of choice is a great axe, a fearsome arm emblematic of Eorzea's pirates. Their approach to battle is one of brute force, relying on strength and steel to crush enemies and sunder weapons. They are highly sought after for their ferocity and intimidating presence, and are often employed to hunt down monsters plaguing the land, or to turn the tide of battle between warring nations. Okay, so we'll go with these guys. Eventually they become just straight up warriors, but we might not go that way. Maybe we'll choose something else as we progress. We'll see. Alright, so we need to pick a server to play on. And the server I'm going to pick is a server that I have my other characters on. And we are need to pick a name, which I've actually thought about this already, so I already know what we're going to name her. And in naming convention for Aura, females, 4 names are named after plants, weather, or seasons. So we're going to name her, and since she comes from Doma, which is modeled after Japan, all the names would be in Japanese. So we're going to name her Ayame, which is a common name for a Japanese iris, which is a type of flower. And we're going to call her surname Yatsurugi, which means 8 blades, which I think is indicative of the ability that we'll have to switch classes and choose whatever weapon we want. So I think that's appropriate. And because in naming convention for warrior or clans or tribes that they would name, they'd have a surname that would be related to combat in some way. So that's what I picked there. Confirm. And it's going to see if the name is available, which I don't see why it would be. Or it wouldn't be. Alright. So yes, begin a new game with this character. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. Now, actually, before I start, I do want to make mention that there is voiced quest dialogue in this game, but it is very limited, and primarily only to certain main storyline quests. So most of this game's quest dialogue is text only, so I am going to have to just read it. Now, I am not a voice actor, so I'm not going to attempt to act the various parts. I'm just going to read the text as written. So that's my plan anyway. So let's go ahead and begin a new game.
Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
Oi, you alright, lass? You were moaning in your sleep, sweating buckets besides. Rolling the ship got your stomach turning, has it? Don't seem like seasickness now that I look at you. It'll be the Aether then, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to the stuff than others see, and we ain't too far from Vilbrand now, which is chock full of Aetherites. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. Might as well been bloomin' seasickness. Ship's leaping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck, get myself a breath of fresh air. Limsa's still far away off, in case you're wondering, seeing as you're awake and all. How's about you keep me company till we get there? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Any road, Brennan's a name and Pellin's my trade. Ah, smell that salty sea breeze. Now then, lass, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers, am I warm? I knew it! Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Let's see. I need to pick a choice here. I'm going to say to gain power. Power, as in power to do good? Like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all? I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of chances to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. Once you make port, you best sign yourself up at the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join a guild either. Limsa's home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to swing an axe or even sling a spell, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Ship's all the starboard bow. Pirate colors. Pirates, bloody hells. Have you no sense? Get below. What's the world coming to? Pirates firing a ship flying Lominsa colors? Bastards either have a boatload of balls or bugger all for brains. Ye can rest easy, friends. We made it out of at a cannon range, and no buccaneer's bark will catch this flighty temptress once the wind's in her sails. That was too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept her head on our shoulders. I reckon I'd have lost mine otherwise. If them pirates gave up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head up on deck and have us a look, shall we? By the by, is this your first trip to Lominsa? Why, yes it is. It is. Well then, let this journey itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Limsa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago, the place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civilizing influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swilling buccaneer herself. Of course, most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-loving ruffians, you can imagine how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with, like them pirates who took a fancy to us just now. If that weren't bad enough, I've heard the Sahagin are raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them are the sweet sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. Long last, land ho! Behold, Lominsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Limalane, goddess of navigation.
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Rotano Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Lominsa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Limlane. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
And here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the market to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me arse earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personages I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on her life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
Hey, you there. I mean you. This is my district and making my business know all the scum that washes up in it. An adventure fresh off the boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Liminsa's finest to set you on the right path. Hop to it, lass. I haven't got all day. Welcome to Lominsa, a bustling city-state filled with scoundrels and brigands, the rough-cut diamond of the Rotano Sea. We want to select the control scheme we're going to use. We're going to be using mouse and keyboard. Alright. And then we get the tutorials, which I can disable them because I don't need them. No, we don't want to open the guide. Okay, so here we are, finally in control of our character. And we have a quest here with Risflo. To talk to him, and what I'm going to probably need to do is make some adjustments to our interface, because we can actually completely configure the interface, which is one of the great things about this game. So we're probably going to get to work on that. So I'm going to end this episode here. When we come back, we are going to go through the first quests, get familiar with the city, and see what's going on. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.